A Tree is Growing by Arthur Duros, illustrated by S. D. Schindler. Essential question: how can pictures and labels give you more information? A giant tree may look as if it's always been big, but even the biggest tree keeps growing and changing. In the spring, you can see that a tree is growing as you watch buds on the branches unfold into leaves. Bristlecone pines are the oldest known living trees on Earth. Some have been growing for 5,000 years, since before the pyramids in Egypt were built. So up here you have white oak, a palm tree, ginkgo, empress, white pine, red maple, breadfruit. Leaves can be skinny needles or big heart shapes. Whatever the shape or size a leaf is, it makes food for the tree. A kind of sugar is made in the leaves. Trees use the sugar as food. The sugary water made in the leaves is mixed with other tree juices called sap. The food in the sap is carried throughout the tree. Where a branch breaks or where bark is cut, sap oozes out of a tree. The strong smells of some saps can keep insects from eating the trees they live on. If you rub a sassafras leaf, the sap smells spicy. Maple syrup is the boiled sap of sugar maple trees. So if there's a moth caterpillar, boboa trees store water in the trunks. When a baobab tree trunk is swollen with water, it is round and fat. In dry weather, the tree gets water from the trunk. Then the trunk gets thinner. A tree needs sunlight, air, soil, and water to grow. Water travels through passages in the trunk and branches up to the leaves. The water moves up the trunk as if it is being sucked through a straw. Sugary sap made in the leaves travels down other passages in the trunk, taking food to different parts of the tree. Stop and think. What is shown in the diagram? Use the information in paragraph 2 to help you understand what is happening. This is the diagram. Think about what is it showing you. A few kinds of trees drop roots from branches into the soil to gather water. Banyan tree roots grow into columns all around the tree. Growing roots are strong. A root can lift a sidewalk or split a rock as it grows. By splitting the rock, it helps make soil. This is a white oak. We have earthworms and beetle grubs. The roots of a tree grow in the ground and hold the tree in place. Roots are like pipelines. They absorb water and carry it into the tree. A tree's roots spread out far underground. They usually grow out of a little further than the tree's branches. Trees need minerals to grow. Minerals are tiny particles that are found in the soil. Salt is one kind of mineral. Like salt, other minerals dissolve in water. They are mixed in with the water that roots absorb and are carried throughout the tree. Mushrooms growing among the roots of a tree can help get minerals. The mushrooms and plants growing near a tree get water brought by the tree roots. Bicolored Botulism mushrooms. Bark is the skin of a tree. The outer layer of bark protects the tree. When an oak tree is young, the bark is smooth as a baby's skin. The tree grows older, the bark becomes rough and cracked. Stop and think, author's craft. How does the author help the readers picture what oak tree bark is like when it is young and when it is old? Looking at the bark of a tree can help you know what kind of tree it is. The cork used for bulletin boards is the peeled off outer bark of a cork tree. Honey locust bark has spines to help protect the tree. In cool climates, cambium grows in spring and summer. Count growth rings to see how old a tree was when it died. An old fir tree can have over 1,000 rings, one for each year it lived. In tropical rainforests, the cambium grows all year and there are no rings. It is hard to tell the ages of those trees. So growth rings, there's a snail, phylum, cambium, xylem. Stop and think. Text and graphic features. How do the captions, labels, and diagrams help you understand the selection? The bark you can touch and see is not growing anymore. Underneath it is a layer of growing bark called cambium. Each year, cambium growth is a ring in the wood of a tree. As trees add new cambium, the trees become bigger around. Next to the cambium are two layers called xylem and phloem. Water from the roots moves through the xylem, and the sap from the leaves moves through the phylum. Trees grow bigger around, and they grow taller. As a tree grows, lower branches may fall off, making the trunk look longer. But the branches do not move up and upward on the trunk. A tree grows taller only at the top as the tips of the branches grow upward. If you mark on a tree trunk today, that mark will stay at the same height for as long as that tree lives. Sequoias are some of the tallest trees in the world and are over 300 feet tall. Birds and insects can eat, and even bats are attracted to flowers to drink their sweet juices. When they brush the flowers, the animals get a powder called pollen on them. The animals carry the pollen to other flowers. When the pollen mixes with certain parts of flowers, seeds grow. Wind also helps pollinate flowers. In the spring, you can smell tree flowers. Tree flowers are found in many shapes and colors and have many different smells. Parts of the flowers grow to become seeds. Oak trees have dangling clumps of flowers called catkins that help make acorns, the seeds of an oak tree. An oak tree can drop more than 50,000 acorns in one year. Only a few of them grow into oak trees. Most are eaten, are crushed, rot, or land in a place where they cannot take root. Acorns can be carried away and dropped or buried by animals to grow in new places. Other kinds of seeds blow in the wind or float on the water. Different kinds of trees make seeds with different coverings. Nuts, cones, and fruits all have seeds inside. Coconuts are seeds of a palm tree. A coconut can float across the ocean and sprout on a sandy beach. In cool climates, trees stop growing in autumn. The leaves of many trees stop making sugary food for the tree and they lose their green color. Then you can see the red, brown, yellow, and orange colors that are also in the leaves. Pine trees and some other trees have needles or leaves that do not change color in autumn. Autumn is a great time to collect leaves. Each tree has its own special color. Tulip poplar, ginkgo, big tooth aspen, sweet gum, pin oak. When leaves fall to the ground, insects and worms eat them. The chewed and eaten bits of the leaves make the soil better for growing trees and other plants. Trees rest in the cold of winter, and their branches are bare. They may look as if they are dead, but look closely and you can see small buds that will become leaves and flowers in the spring. In the spring, listen to the wind rustling the leaves. The trees are growing again.